Well, hello there, everybody. And by everybody, I mean all one of you, whoever you are. It says I'm off to a huge start tonight. I have two people watching, and I'm one of them. So whoever you are, make yourself be known in the chat, so I don't just sit here all by myself. I'm beginning to rethink this particular time at 6 o'clock on Thursday. I did a kind of an impromptu live stream at Tuesday night after the hurricane passed here at 9 o'clock, and my normal live stream, but can't seem to get this one off the ground. So I sent some invites out to people to come in and join the panel. And Joe C, how you doing, my friend? I'm glad somebody's starting to show up. You know, I get a little self-conscious sitting here talking to myself. I see sometimes a lot of guys have live streams and they got 1, 2, 3 people watching, and I don't know how they do it. If nobody shows up, I'm just gonna, take my football and go home, I think. Hi, Mel. How you doing, buddy? The weather is still windy. Well, not windy, breezy, 15 plus miles an hour. And Joe C says, I'm getting double audio on your end. I don't know how that could be. Mel, how are you hearing me? Let me know in the chat. I haven't done anything different. About to eat dinner, be back with you if you Thanks. How do you hear me, Mel? Does it sound okay, or is there an echo? Audio is fine. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on there, Joe. I don't see how it could be on my end. I'm doing the same thing that I always do. But if anybody, okay. Carlos says it sounds good to me. And speaking of Carlos, I just saw him pop up into the green room, so we'll get to him in a second, which is good because I really know I had 2 instances. That's all right, Joe. Yeah, Mel, we got Carlos back from the skies in the green room. And but I got room for plenty. Whenever you get around to it, come on in. Always love to have you. And with that, let me go ahead and bring in Carlos, and we can talk about this hurricane that's heading up his direction. Hey.
Good evening, young man. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I figured I'd come and join you today.
It's nice.
Keep you company and help you with the chat when needed.
Good, thank you. It's always good to have you, Carlos. You know that.
So overall, just wet and a little windy as far as the
actually, we had very little rain over the whole entire passage of the storm. We had less than 3 inches of rain, and I mean, in a good going by, we can get 3 inches in an hour. So the water levels and all the retention ponds actually went down instead of up. So we got very, 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 very lucky here. I mean,
you got the bullet. Good.
Well, and it was like the storm kind of took a breather after the Bahamas. It slowed down. It moved offshore. The winds got down to about 105, 110 miles an hour. It's a Category 2. No well-defined eye.
Right.
Kind of cruised on by here about 5, 6 miles an hour. As soon as it got up north of us, it started picking up steam again. And,
they went back to Category 3 from what I understand.
Yeah, and got a well-defined eye. I guess the warm waters of the Gulf Stream probably, but it's picking up steam and it's doing a number on the Carolinas right now. And I feel so sorry for those people. I know what they're going through. We sometimes, when you're waiting for this thing to come in our case, it was like 9 days they were tracking it. And in those 9 days, I was trying to liken it to make an analogy for some people that I know, and liken it to something. And I said it's like waiting for the results of a biopsy to find
geez.
out if you got cancer or not.
That would be much worse, but I understand.
I don't know. I don't know if it is. This thing's coming at you with the potential to just completely uproot and destroy your entire world.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, considering what it did to people in the Bahamas, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, the aerial, I said, photos of the Bahamas look like a landfill to me. I mean, it looks just like it when you look at a landfill. And you can't pack up everything valuable or meaningful to you. You can try to do the best you can, but it's still your home, and the power of these things when they get up into that category 4 and 5 is the power of a tornado, only 100 times bigger than the average tornado.
Now, if you lived in the Bahamas, would you rebuild, or would you say maybe it's time to move to somewhere where it's a little bit of a...
Yeah, well, when you're in the Bahamas or anywhere down in the islands, you're always getting this kind of thing. Maybe not this bad. A number of years ago, a huge hurricane went through the Virgin Islands. Remember St. Thomas? Just ripped it a new one. Was it 25 years ago? A storm hit Kauai, and over in Hawaii, damn near leveled the island. And people rebuild. They rebuild as long as you can have insurance. I guess it's okay. But
I don't know.
Yeah. Where are you going to go? You move to Kansas, a tornado gets you. You move, and you move to a place. You move to a place that has absolutely no dangers, whatever, and then some bus runs you over.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It's just some of these acts of nature that can really send you for a loop. Like you said, Kansas, or the what do they call that? Tornado Alley.
Tornado Alley, yeah.
I don't understand. Well, me personally, I mean, I understand it's their home and it's what they know, but after a few of these storms, you maybe want to say, it might be time to leave or build something underground.
The people in California, they know that an earthquake is coming one of these days.
Right.
The big one. They know it's coming, but yet they just go about their life and do their thing. And we went from 2004 to 2016 here with no hurricanes affecting us.
Right.
So I don't know. When you think about the odds of you being right in the path of one of these things, most of them, if you look at the tracks, go back in history, and you can find all this information on the internet, and look at the tracks of the hurricanes that have made landfall in Florida, and they're crisscrossing everywhere, but there really aren't as many of them as you'd think. A lot of them skirt up the coast, but it's.
Well, maybe what? Maybe I wouldn't live close to water. That's what I probably wouldn't do.
Actually, the worst hurricane that we had last year or 2 years ago was Hurricane Irma. And it ripped right up the center of the state.
Right.
And the people on the coast got the least of it. So
is that the one where the Keys got destroyed, right?
Yeah, that's the one that hit the Keys. I think it was the Keys, and it came right up through the center of the state. And I mean, it was brutal. And even over here, it was brutal. But it wasn't along the coast. Matthew 3 years ago was along the coast, and that was a category 3, and it was only 30 miles offshore, as opposed to this Dorian, which was a category 2 and was close to 100 miles offshore. So for us here where I was, it turned out to be a big, meh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you got to stay home also, which is good.
I stayed home, and I had 3. Let me stop a second. Say hi to
Brent.
To Gary, since I don't have a whole lot of people here. I better say hi to the ones that I do. I see Gary, Brant, Ariel's in the chat. How you doing? And Mel is off eating. We got Joe C and Carlos, and I think that's about it. 6, 7 people.
Yes.
Slow night. I guess anybody in the Carolinas isn't going to be playing around here. They're going to be out sandbagging their houses. But
it is also dinner time. They may show up. Give them a chance.
yeah, this 9 o'clock on Tuesday turned out to be a better time than my 6 o'clock on Thursday. I may take a look at that, because I had 20, 25 people just about the whole time. Now, maybe they were interested in hearing the hurricane story, but
see, we were going to do Dorothy.
Yeah. You see that thing? You see that thing going on behind me here?
Yes.
It's let's see. Let me get the here it is. This one here is what I want. There we go. That was yesterday. In other words, the day after the storm, and I stuck my GoPro in my window of my office and pointed it out there and set it to time lapse at 1 frame every 10 seconds. Okay. So this 2-minute video here represents the entire day yesterday. At this point, the hurricane was probably up around, it started the day north of up around Daytona Beach and ended Jacksonville. But we just had steady 20 to 25 mile an hour winds and clouds, and you can see the direction of the circulation, because I'm looking north here, looking due north in this picture. And so you can see that the wind is coming from the west. So the hurricane being north of me, counterclockwise flow, actually, you can see that. I mean, and if you actually look at the cloud layer above, you can see that it's also moving, not quite as fast as what's down there near the ground, but you see the different layers appear to be moving it at different speeds. Hey, Mad Kiwi, how are you? How are you? We got Australia representative here. I wonder where the rest of them are. Probably sleeping. But if you watch this, as this comes to an end, I let it run until it got dark outside. And what I should have done is I should have taken it outside and pointed it west and shot the sunset, because the sunset yesterday was, without a doubt, one of the most spectacular sunsets I've ever seen in my life. And you'll see here coming up in a second, as it starts to get dark, even looking north, you'll start to see the colors come into the clouds. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was dry air finally. And here, watch the colors here.
Oh yeah.
It was spectacular, and I should have shot the sunset, but I didn't. So enough hurricane. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of that and bring back my normal, balmy, breezy, sunny sky out the window. See, isn't it nice to be able to just have the power to, with a click of a button, change what's outside your window? Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Definitely,
pretty neat
technology.
Yeah. I'm still tired though. I mean, I went without sleep for about
3 days.
At least 3 days, yeah. And I slept.
Red wants to know if you have any other video.
He does.
Says, oh no, I'm sorry. I thought I said good video. I said good video.
Oh,
I
apologize. No, I really wasn't busy. I really wasn't shooting video. There wasn't much to see when you stay home. You see trees blowing and clouds going by and rain coming and going. But yesterday I said, you know what? I'll just shoot this out the window and see what it looks like. And it turned out okay.
Yeah,
it turned out pretty cool. You been flying?
I went the day before yesterday, yes. And I flew my 5-inch, and I believe I lost the battery while I was flying. I heard a knock, and then it just dropped out of the sky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should have had two straps on it. I only had one at the time. I made a hard left, and I just heard like a bang, and then I saw it just collapse. Thank God there was a guy. Well, I'm not on a golf field, but there's guys that play golf, and it was behind him probably good 20, 30 feet. I
Oh,
said,
really?
"You hear a quad fall?" And he just points over there.
No, I didn't catch it. Why did you say it fell?
I think the battery came loose and hit the props, and that was it.
How's
fell.
that happen? Which
I
quad
should have
was it?
It was a 5-inch schizo. I should have had two straps on it, but I only had one at the time. And I hard right, or hard left actually, and that's it. It just fell down.
Do you use the rubberized battery straps?
One has the vinyl. Yeah, let me show you real quick.
Okay, that if you get this special sticky rubber
But I
stuff,
need to get one. I need to put another one in it.
but if you get that sticky rubber, silicone-like rubber adhesive stuff that you put, hold on, let me make it big so I can see it here. That's me. I don't want to do that. I want to make you big. Okay, there we go.
You see, it's a little shiny.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was tight. I flew quite a few times and did, my maneuvers, but this one, I guess, was too hard or too loose. I don't know. So, not good.
But the what I'm talking about is some straps have that same sticky rubber on the inside, inside of here. I know the ones I get from Race Day Quads for free.
That's what this is, one RDQ.
Yeah, and that rubber stuff, you take that with a combination of the that sticky silicone like rubber on the quad itself, they hold on pretty good. I guess if you crash,
I should have had two though. I only had one because I noticed that the battery was just up a little bit in the back.
Okay. Was it
when I talked to the guy that set me up with this, Chris? He said, "Yeah, you should have had two." But it is what it is.
Ed from Love My Drone says he also puts a strip of Velcro on the bottom of the battery. That's not a bad idea. I do that at all my RC airplanes where I've got batteries that go in them, electric RC airplanes. I'll Velcro them in and then strap them in. But
that's a good idea going forward.
See, we got Rick Halber here. Hey, Rick, how are you? And Ed from Love My Drones is here. And Rick, the storm came and went and seemed to take a little vacation while it went by us because we got pretty much nothing from it. Couple, the poor news people. I mean, the Fox station, Fox 35 in Orlando, decided like 2.5 days before the storm or 3 days before the storm, they were going to go on 24/7 storm coverage. And I do these live streams and I got to figure out how to fill up 2 hours without boring everybody and repeating myself. But these poor people to fill 24/7 for 3-4 straight days is incredible. And we were watching them. I was going to make a point about that, a point by bringing that up, and then I brought it up and the point just went away. So I think I still need to get some more sleep. What was I talking about? Rick was asking me how the storm was, and I said it went on vacation. So what happened was these poor people at the TV station were the thing stopped. It just came to a dead stop in the Bahamas, and it wasn't moving, and it wasn't doing anything, and they could only replay the news conferences from all the different local officials, the police chiefs and the heads of FEMA. They could only replay them over and over and over and over again, and they had people, the people out on the beach. You know how they cover hurricanes, so they put people out on the beach, and the winds, they act like the wind is blowing real strong, like they're holding on to things like it's tough. And, why, and then while they're talking, a couple of kids walk by in flip-flops and shorts behind them and wave, Well, they had all those
people. I think they over-exaggerated just a bit.
Yes, they do. And they had all those people out there all on every beach. And yep, we got waves. Now I'm not making light of this storm, but because it could have, after what it did to the Bahamas, it could very well have done the same thing to my house. And that's what we were almost counting on up until it left the Bahamas. We were pretty well sure. And I had already had everything of value that I thought I should take with me, ready to load into my car and every square inch of my car and head over to Tampa on the other side of the state. I mean, I was completely ready to go. And then it just stuck itself in the Bahamas and tore that place up.
Oh, bad.
And sat there. And then and like I said the other night, then it came, started coming up this way, and it would move an inch this way away from us, and everybody, yay, we're going to be okay. And I'd call my son, hey, it's looking great, man. It's headed out to sea, everything. And then it'd take a jog the other way, and everybody go, oh, and then I call my son, I say, oh shit, kid, I think we're in trouble again, and then this way, and hey, it's going the right way, we're okay. And that we were living that emotional yo-yo for the almost 2 days, if not 3 days, where every little job, and we had the same thing.
Hi to Chris. I'm sorry. Did you say hi to Chris?
Oh, no, go ahead. No, I didn't say hi. I haven't been watching. Fake news. Okay. Rick Albert says, yeah. They always drama it up. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Chris. Hey, Chris. Chris Hope is here. And
is your internet working like normal?
Oh, yeah. I never lost anything. I had no.
A little choppy. I don't know if it's my internet then.
Really?
Maybe it's me.
I don't know. Yeah. Anybody else noticing it? I'll tell you. Let me take a look and see what it says for my stream here. It says my stream strength is good. It says.
Okay, might be me then. Never mind.
Remember Emily Latella?
Also, what the lady from Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, Emily. Yeah, it was Emily Latella was the name of the character that she.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, at the
Never
end.
Mind.
Gary says I'm kind of blurry. That's how I feel, Gary. I don't know if this camera's in focus or not, but it is what it is. I'm streaming at 720, and
yeah, I wasn't sure if it was me. No big deal.
Yeah, at any rate, that was, I always used to like that sketch on. The old Saturday Night Lives were without a doubt the best. With John Belushi and Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and that crew. Those were the classics. I can't even watch it anymore. No.
Although, do you remember a show called Mad TV? Did you ever get into that with Mrs. Swan?
No, I never got into it. I remember it. I think I might have seen it. I remember Second City. Remember?
I've heard that. But there was this one character, Mrs. Swan, where she played this Chinese lady. Looking like a man. I tell you everything. I guess one day when you get a chance, just watch it. Mrs. Swan.
That's
Mad
funny.
TV. She's cute.
Yeah, they had that. Remember, they had the Second City from Chicago, which was like Saturday Night Live. And a lot of the Saturday Night Live people came from there, came from the Second City. I don't remember which one. I think that the Belushi boys did, but I don't know. That was a long time ago. Pardon me?
Somebody named Lovely Lisa Warrior Queen is in
there. Hi Lisa, how you doing? Yeah, she stops by and says hello here.
Yeah, she has a blue wrench, but I just saw her name pop up. Hello, Lovely Lisa Warrior Queen. Watch out.
Yeah, she says they've gone too lefty. Yes, that's a problem with all the network.
Stewart, yeah.
Stuff.
There's a grown man in his tighty whitey underwears playing a kid. Stewart in Mad TV. That was also funny.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Mrs. Swan and Stewart.
Yeah, it says I got, you know who hasn't stopped in to see me in a long time
Who's that?
here on my show? Spike.
All right. Well, what time is it? He's 12 hours. Like he's
No,
into.
he's
Must be 8 o'clock over there.
no, it's 6 in the morning where he is, but
Oh, he's only 12 hours.
yeah, but
Oh, okay.
he hasn't been. You know, he used to actually come on in my panel, and then he stopped that, and then he at least would show up in my chat room. But I guess he's so busy
Building his
building
school.
building his thing up that probably doesn't want to do that, or else he got tired. He got tired of it. I normally, well, you and I,
Mitch.
we always stop by his.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no getting tired of you, Mitch. You're lovable.
Thanks. Kiwi says that he's on a mission, and I hope I didn't insult you, Kiwi, by calling you Australia.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah. He says Australia is just an island off of New Zealand.
What I learned recently that I mean, not that I know a lot about history or geography, that Tasmania was a place for criminals. They sent criminals. Convicts.
Isn't that the way Australia started out as a
Australia too?
From what I understand, I can't speak as an authority on it. You only hear,
right?
And then sometimes you remember things that really weren't real. They were in a movie, and the movie was so long ago that you don't, in your mind, maybe it was real, maybe it was a movie.
Is Matt Kiwi saying, "Yep"? As far as the convicts, I think so. Maybe, I don't know. I think that's what Mars said.
Is Mars here? No, Mars is
no.
here.
But when I was talking to him, because he's from Australia.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's from Melbourne.
He said his wife was from Tasmania.
Tasmania. The only thing I ever think of is when I hear the word Tasmania is the cartoon, the Tasmanian, the Tasmanian devil. It's amazing how we make those analogies in our mind. We make those connections of things.
Sense.
Entertainment, we make entertainment connections, movie references, things you remember growing up with,
word association. That's how I try to remember people's names.
Really?
Yeah. I try to like if somebody's name is, I don't know, something like, let's say Diana, I'll remember, Lady Diana, or I'll try to put some kind of word association. It's weird. Otherwise, I'll never remember your name. They say anybody to help your memory.
Anybody like to come join us on the panel here is more than welcome.
New Zealand is on my bucket list.
I've never got down there, and okay, I'm a fruit, he says. That's true. We do have fruits named kiwi. Hey, Carlos, there's I don't know if you've seen it. IFlight has a new drone.
Nazgul
5.
It's $180, I hear.
Yeah, I ordered one. It's like I need another drone, but it's the problem is you see something like this. It was $179 at Banggood, and then there was a 10%. Then there was a 10% discount coupon.
Oh wow!
So it turned it out to be $150 something bucks.
Nice.
And the thing has got, if you had to buy the individual components and build it, would cost you at least $250.
Yeah, I saw that. EBR just did a made in flight. I don't know if he's on your subscription.
Yeah. Did he get one of those?
Yeah, he just put it up in the air. Handles well.
It looks beautiful. It's got the Zing motors.
Right.
It's got the Ratel, the CADX Ratel camera. That's a $35 camera.
Yeah, no, the parts come out to a lot more than what it's costing.
Yeah, it's got
you don't have to build it.
No, I like building it. I mean, I enjoy the building part of it, but I mean it. it comes with all these 3D printed parts and a nice, name brand antenna and
Right.
IFlight success controller. And I couldn't believe it. I saw this thing and I said, Jesus, I better try to get one of those things because that's a beater price. In other words, at
Right.
that price, you can afford to take the thing out and beat it up.
Yeah. I saw the first, what do they call it, review with Albert Kim. And he gave it a good thumbs up.
They all did it. And what's his face? Today I saw UAV Futures.
Good day.
Good day, Stu from Newman, Grumpy Trev. Yeah,
Yeah.
Grumpy Trev. He made a comment on one of my videos and emailed me, and I emailed him back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, us old farts got to stick together,
Hey, have you seen the controller he uses? He uses like a Fly Sky controller to fly.
Really? No, I didn't notice. I know. I
noticed of what. Look, the EBR will tell you about the Nozzle. But yeah, he uses some different kind of transmitter. He doesn't use a QX7 or IFlight.
Oh no, he uses. You mean Stu? He uses
that's
one of the
Grumpy.
Oh, okay, because Stu uses one of those light ones, that look more like a big game controller. It's a Tyrannus, but the
That's what I use.
Pro or something like that. No, I like my. I'm going to stick with this. My QX7 right here. It's great. It does everything, and wasn't very expensive. It's got the Hall effect gimbals in it, and
well, actually, the Hall effects are on the IFlight as well. Just so you know.
And if it ever stops raining or blowing like hell, I may actually get to use the thing again, other than it on the simulator.
So EBR and Mike Getz have joined us. Mike Getz drone shots. Mike
Getz. Oh, okay. How you doing? Mike Getz drone shots.
EBR, tell us about the new 5-inch quad, or tell Mr.
Yeah, EBR. Tell me what you think of the Nozzle. What is that? A Lord of the Rings reference or something?
Yes, I believe so.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings, but I heard somebody say it was a character from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, I've been seeing nothing but good things about it. It looks like a beautifully built drone.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's amazing. Good. I got one. Where the hell is it anyway? You know how it is when you order something from
China.
Actually,
he got his pretty quick, from what I understand.
Well, when I first ordered it, it said that it was pre-order. Okay.
Mm.
But it was expected to ship within 3 days.
Oh, nice.
So then it shipped the next day. So I said, well, that's odd.
EBR says it competes with some of his best quads.
I mean, from the looks of it, it might.
Yeah.
So let me read you. So I got my order tracking here on my cell phone. Okay. Mm-hmm. And IFlight Nozzle 5 4S 5-inch racing drone. Blah, blah, blah. Track. Okay. I have this much. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can show you this much of tracking information on this thing already, like 3 pages of it. Okay.
Wow.
You might say to yourself, how in the world can this thing have 3 pages of tracking information and not be here yet? So it says, the order received August 28th, next stop, Dongguan International, August 28th, departure from Outward Office of Exchange, August 29th. Next stop, Dongguan. Next stop, Suihu Huanju, August 29th. Ganju arrived, August 29th. Ganju already handed over to airlines for transportation, August 30th. August 30th, already handed. Wait, gets better. Already handed over to airlines for transportation, August 30th. August 31st, returned.
Uh-oh.
September 1st, returned. Baiju Anjian, returned. Then on September 1st, departure from Outward Office of Exchange. And then on September 1st, it arrived at Dongguan International, a place that it has already been to twice before.
Wow.
September 1st, already handed over to airlines for transportation. That happened at 8:55 p.m. And then down here, we're back to August 28th again, where it says China acceptance. And then we're back to August 28th, Dongguan processed through facility. Your item has been processed through facility in Dongguan, China on August 28th. And again, it was processed at Dongguan, China on August the 29th. Then on August the 29th, remember, I've already got it returned on the 1st of September, but we're back here on August 29th. The origin post is preparing shipment. We have received notice that the originating post is preparing to dispatch this mail piece. And then on September 1st, it processed again through Dongguan, China. And the latest is origin post is preparing for shipment. And that was September 1st. So that was 4 days ago. So we haven't heard shit about this thing for 4 days.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
But I mean, where's my drone? I paid for it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my confusion about what the hell is going on?
The first part of it sounded like you were reading a Chinese menu. I don't know. You were going to order food.
But that's, if this was Amazon, it would be,
it'd be there already.
One day, what be delivered tomorrow if you order in the next 6 hours, and
I wonder if Race Day Quads or Pyro drones are going to pick some of those up.
I don't know. As it stands now, I don't even think you could get it from iFlight. I think you have to get. I think they made a deal with Banggood on these things. But yeah. So at any rate, EBR, mine is getting. By the time I get it, the thing will have about 30,000 miles on it. Yeah, EBR says if it was on Amazon, although a lot of the stuff that you get on Amazon is the same exact price as Banggood. My little, you buy these Emax stuff, same price. You buy the Tiny Hawk, same price as Banggood. But
actually, Ed made a good point. Maybe on the way, Trump said something about tariffs, so they had to take it back and add some more.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'll tell you, I did have something lost with Banggood at one point, and they made good on it. They refunded my money.
Okay.
And I found out you can't call them on the phone, and emailing is not the greatest way, but live chatting.
Oh yeah.
Live chat is the best way to get anything done with Banggood, because
emails is once every 24 hours. One a day.
Right. But when you go onto the chat window and you initiate the chat, it's usually 2 to 3 minutes before somebody gets on there.
Yeah, it takes a while.
And they do manage. It is confusing, and sometimes you can't get your point across.
I had an issue once with a motor, and we'll refund your money. Just pay for it to get shipped back. How are you going to charge me for something that you had a problem? So that's why I didn't deal with them.
Well, a lot of people, we're all spoiled by the Amazon, but a lot of companies require you to pay shipping. Doesn't DJI does? You ship a drone back to them, you got to pay the shipping to get it back to them. They don't pay for the shipping.
I don't remember that, don't they? They don't send you a...
No, I don't think so. I've never sent anything back to them, but I don't think they do. A lot of companies require you to send it back, especially about anything you buy on eBay.
Never used
Look who's sitting in the green room.
Is it
take a guess?
Mitch?
No,
not Mitch. Mel.
No. Well, Mel just popped in there too. I see Mel, but wow. Say hi to Dan.
What's going on?
Cool. Hey, how you doing?
What's happening, Mitch?
We're having a party. We're having a party. We're surviving hurricanes. And Mel is here. Hi, Mel. How you doing?
Hey, the gang's all here.
We are. Dan, I haven't seen you in a long time, man.
I've been quiet for a little bit.
Oh, Mel's here. His
Is that a
truck is
train?
ringing. No, that's Mel's phone.
Oh, jeez.
I did want to share something with Carlos real quick and anybody else.
I'm listening.
I've been using these on my quads and my batteries.
Double stick tape.
No, they're like a hook and loop thing, but it's like 10 times better than Velcro.
They're like plastic Velcro.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. And they work good.
They are
I've got
fantastic.
I've got a roll of that stuff.
What is it
comes in
called there,
rolls.
Truthful?
Well, it really doesn't have a name. It just says Scotch, extremely strong. And I got these at Ace Hardware. Now, they have different brands out there with different names, but this is 10 times better than Velcro. And it takes some effort to pull it off your quad when you're done.
They
Okay.
lock together instead of just
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. And this will help you keep from throwing batteries.
They have the same stuff. What's it
Good to
called?
know. Thank you.
Snap lock
Yeah.
or something like comes in rolls.
I think I've seen them in rolls too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just snap together. And
Yeah.
you can snap them
Oh, those
together
little-
in any direction, and then
Are those little squares? Are they already
Yeah.
pre-cut?
Yeah. They're pre-cut in squares.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Good to know. Yeah, I don't want this to happen again.
no,
I
I don't
mean,
blame you.
See, I put
Everything's
one
surprising.
right here in the center, my
Right.
quad. Then I
Yeah,
have a
snap-
battery here with one.
And
What kind of
see,
battery? 13 or
As-
1500?
As
The
good
millimeters.
as good as that stuff works, Drone Pool.
Yes,
you-
sir.
That piece there, you could have made it work for 4 batteries. I've been using. I'm serious, man. I've been using that stuff right there for 20 years.
And then you pull.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Highly recommend, because I actually had a crash where I flung my battery and it took me 30 minutes of the walk of shame to find my quad.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
I'm lucky I had a golfer. I almost hit in the head with it. That saw it come down.
Yeah, I'll tell you where your quad is when you give me your name and phone number and insurance company.
You know
$20.
what? It perplexes me that I'm flying my quads. They make a good amount of noise, and people just walk right in front of me, like oblivious. It's. I mean, it's a public park. It's supposed to be softball fields, but they just like nothing. They walk right in front of you, and you're flying this thing around, and they make noise. They go fast. Could care less.
Well, you know that if anything happens, it's your fault. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But now, what do I do if somebody hits a golf ball and almost hits me with it? Because that's happened.
Almost or hit you.
almost hits you or the
Me, yeah, the golf ball almost hits me.
Well,
golfers.
Still is almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Golfers.
No, but if he hits me, what do I have to do? Rip his ID out of him before he gives me?
Nothing
his
is
name?
their fault. Nothing is their fault. You know,
No, of course not.
their answer is
I'm
if
sorry.
you hadn't have been playing so close to a golf course, you wouldn't have gotten hurt.
No, it's not a golf course. It's softball fields.
well,
That's the whole thing.
Oh, well, then they shouldn't be hitting golf balls there.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my
They're
point.
probably thinking, well, he shouldn't be flying here. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody,
it goes
Yeah.
both ways.
exactly.
For
I've already come to the conclusion. No matter what the hell I'm doing, I'm always going to be in the wrong. So I'm
Right.
used to it. I just accept it. You know.
yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
The
my
best
fault.
one was, when you fly. Well, Mitch, do you use the bottom cover of your FXT or you don't? You leave it out.
Bottom cover.
The bottom,
the
the bottom piece.
Goggles. Most of the
Yeah.
time, I don't use it unless it's so
Yeah, me
bright
either.
and sunny out there that I have to. But
So I have this woman practicing her samurai sword behind me, and I'm like, I don't know, should I turn my back to this woman? She's
maybe sounds like you should find a different place to fly.
she's doing tai chi with a sword behind me. I'm like,
I'm not going out flying my drones where they're playing golf and swinging swords all
and
around me.
doing tai chi.
Yeah.
I'm limited. I'm in Queens. I'm in New York. It's tough.
I think you got more places you can fly than I got here. To tell you the truth, I'm surrounded by
How far is it
airports.
to that field that you go to from your place?
My flying field,
Yeah,
it's about almost 30-minute drive.
is it?
Yeah,
That's a big field, though.
Oh, it is.
Huge.
You
it's
can land a real plane on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could. It's half a dump. It's a landfill out there, and it smells great when the wind blows just the right way too.
Oh, jeez. That's what I need to find.
Hey, we got Kim here, Furball Kim. How
Furball
you
Kim.
doing? Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, Furball.
Kiwi says that 3M makes that stuff, and that's what I was
They
talking
do.
about.
Sure, they do.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. In fact, entertain yourselves, and I'll go get it. I want to show it to you.
You have some of it?
Yeah.
I have to add another strap. I should have had 2. I only did 1. It could have been a contender, but nope, it fell. But overall, everything survived, considering I had a GoPro on it. Nothing broke except for props.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Well, it's always good when nothing breaks.
Nothing major, especially the quad itself. I mean, it's a pretty strong one. So far, so good. Drone pool, have you ever experienced, what do they call that, fail-safes flying?
Once.
Just once?
Twice.
Was it distance or just freak thing?
Once was on one of my builds. I had a bad flight controller. I was having gyro issues, and I think that was part of it. And the second one, I did not watch my battery voltage. I let the battery drain way too far down, and it just fell, and it ruined the battery. It's no good after that.
Terrible feeling, though.
Other than that, those are the only really fail safes I've had. But I did have a crash where my antenna fell over into the props, and it caused the props to break, and that's what caused my drone to crash.
Okay. It's terrible when you're flying and all of a sudden you have no control and it just.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do.
they're set to just, you set it, in fact, they call it drop. That's a setting, drop.
It's terrible. It's a horrible feeling.
I've been using I've been putting GPSs on all mine lately, and the rescue, see the GPS module? Where is it? There it is. Out here on the arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that got to keep it away from, it's got to see the sky. So you put it out here on the arm, wire it into the flight controller to a spare UART, and go into beta flight and set up the GPS, and then turn on GPS rescue and as a fail safe. And what the GPS rescue does for you is instead of just dropping out of the sky, it'll actually automatically do their version of a return to home. You have a preset altitude, 40 meters or 50 meters, whatever, and it'll just, if you have a fail safe, or you click a switch, you have a switch that you can activate this at any time. It'll climb up, it'll go into angle mode so it stabilizes itself, and it'll climb and it'll turn towards you. It'll start flying back towards you.
Wow.
Now it's not going to land.
But it's in the general
idea,
area.
it's not an auto land, and it'll and 200 meters out from you, if you have the settings at default, it'll actually start descending right towards you. And if you don't take over control again, it'll crash right somewhere near you. It'll fly itself into the ground. It's not designed to auto land, but the way it works is, if you're in failsafe and it starts a return to home, and then the fail-safe condition goes away and you actually get your control back.
Yep.
The fail-safe will stop and you'll be back flying. So basically they suggest that if it ever fail-safes, the first thing you do is click the switch that you have set to GPS rescue so that if you do get the radio back, it doesn't turn the control over to you. It continues with the automated flight home. At any time during that flight home, after you've gotten the radio back, you can, and you'll have your goggles on, you just flick the GPS rescue off and you're flying it again.
But what I noticed with my fail-safes is the RSSI goes to 0 and there's no more transmitter. There's no more communication between transmitter and the quad.
Yeah, in that case, this thing is going to just land somewhere near you.
Right.
So you just watch out. It's not designed to, like a Mavic to do it.
I rely a lot on the buzzer because I don't really fly too far away from me, and then I kind of know where I am, and I'll go back to the DVR. But the main thing when it's down on the ground is the buzzers.
But a lot of guys a lot of guys that you see doing reviews are really getting hooked on, or really getting sold on the idea of putting these GPS modules in them, because they're only like $15. They're cheap.
That's not bad.
All you need is a spare UART, and Betaflight, especially Betaflight 4, the new version of Betaflight, really has all of the GPS rescue stuff in their normal graphical interface now. In Betaflight 3, 3.5, you had to go into the CLI and type commands to make changes to the Betaflight stuff. But now it's all done graphically, like all the rest of the configuration in Betaflight. So they've really integrated it in.
Mitch, I'm going to charge some batteries, but I'll be listening in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that I got. It's called Dual Lock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
3M Dual Lock, and it's plastic. And
right.
And if you can take the two things anywhere and just stick it to itself and press hard, and it snaps in.
Right.
In any direction. And then you just rip it off, but it's not like Velcro. It's not fuzzy like Velcro.
Mine, you have to have both pieces the same direction on these for it to work.
Well, interestingly enough,
you can turn them 180 also.
This stuff here, I've tried it every which way, and it seems no matter which way you line them up, they still snap in pretty good. Anyway, it's called 3M Dual Lock Reclosable. You get two of these rolls like this for $16 from Amazon. That's like a lifetime supply.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Mel. You can. This is called Dual Lock. The stuff.
Yeah, Dual Lock. That's what this is called. Dual Lock. It's made by 3M.
Yeah.
Oh, same stuff then. Yours is just.
No, this is actually made by Scotch, but it's called.
Well, that is 3M.
It's basically the same stuff, though.
3M is Scotch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 3M. So it's the same stuff, only clear. It's terrific, isn't it?
I'm using this. Oh my God!
Not really clear. It's more like a opaque white, but yeah, it's awesome stuff. Like I said, the I don't know if you're familiar, but with the toll tags, for the toll roads and things, the Easy Pass and Throughway passes. My company, when I was trucking, they issued those for us, and they provided that white colored 3M stuff like what Drone Pool has. And we'd put the two pieces together, stick it on the transceiver thing, and then we'd peel the sticky back and we'd stick it to our windshield. And then we could take it off to clean the glass and stuff, but stick it back on. That stuff, like I said, we've been using that stuff for 30 years. It's great stuff. And it never wears out. It literally never wears out.
So I only have one question for myself, and that is, I've got the drones, I've got the batteries, I've got the Dual Lock. Why haven't I been using it?
Good question.
Hey, Mitch.
Yeah.
You ought to try some of that Dual Lock when you strap your battery down. If the strap comes loose and you crash your drone, the battery will either stay with the drone or it won't go as far, because it's going to take. In fact, you know what? If it has a hard enough impact that it breaks the Dual Lock away, just don't even bother going and getting it.
I can't even imagine your battery strap and the Dual Lock both letting go of a battery.
No, you have to really demolish your quad.
In fact, if you put a 1/4 inch wide, 1/2 inch long piece at each end of your battery mount and put a piece on each end of your battery and stick it on there, you don't need a strap.
Well, the idea of that stuff is not so much to hold it in, but to keep it from moving side to side.
It would all the above. Use a 1/4 inch wide strip on each end of the battery. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, if you put too much on it
anyway, though, just in case.
If you put too much of that stuff on there, it's too hard to get it on and off. It's too much.
No, then it just becomes a rechargeable drone.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna
I'm definitely going to do that. Are you kidding me?
But seriously, yeah, that like 1 inch, that was about a 1 inch square piece you had, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. If you're going to use it in conjunction with your strap, that size piece will do 4 drones.
You can't go wrong. No, that's a great
1
idea.
inch by 1 inch.
Yeah. Cut that into 4 squares, man. Or at least cut it in 2.
Right.
I trust that stuff beyond, you have no idea. That stuff's
But I think
amazing.
it's a little bit stronger than the ones for Easy Path that you were talking about for the.
That's the same stuff.
Is it the same?
Yeah, they used to get it in a strip and they'd cut pieces off for us and give it to us. Yeah.
Because I definitely have that on my windshield.
Like if we have our windshield replaced or something, then we'd need half, right? The other half. We just go in the office and they take.
Oh, yeah.
Snip, 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 and give us, a bunch of it.
That's a good idea.
In fact, probably in one of my boxes of stuff at home, I've probably got a bunch of it.
I'm going to have to invest.
And the ones that we used on the Easy Pass were about probably a ½ inch wide and maybe 3/4 inch long.
Yeah, they're narrow strips.
And then on each side, right? Just one piece on each side of the Easy Pass or Free Pass or whatever. And it ain't going nowhere.
And what I like about it is the heat on the windshield doesn't
That's because it's
unglue.
3M. 3M uses heat resistant glue on their 2-sided tape stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because I did a dash cam on that with the double-sided tape.
Yep.
The plastic stuff.
I got 3M double-sided tape heat resistant, and it says heat resistant right on the package, because the suction cup for my dash cam finally quit working in my big truck. Right. I just put a bunch of 3M tape on there, done deal.
I haven't touched it in over a year.
Yep.
What dash cam do you use, Mitch? Mel?
I don't anymore.
Oh, okay. If you ever look into one, A118C, it looks like a door chock. It's so small. Gives you like 120, 1080p. It's really good.
This one that I used, I got it. Well, the last one I had, I actually bought it at Walmart for about $34 or $39 or something. And it was one of the best ones I ever had. It really worked good.
Did the rear mirror cover it so you didn't have to see it?
No, there's no rear view mirror in a big truck. You just put it up in the middle of the windshield.
Ah, that's true. That's right.
Yeah. I picked up one of these YI cheapy deals for, I don't know, it's $30, and it's been in my car for 2 years now. I've never missed a beat. Works great.
Yeah, the one I have is $70, and the only other thing you buy is an SD card.
I think they're a good idea to have these dash cams.
This is my Amazon find of the week.
It's
$17.
That looks like the one that looks exactly like the one that I have.
It's a good one. $17. I like
That's
it.
a dash cam?
No, this is a multimeter.
That's an electric meter, right?
Yeah, multimeter.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a dash cam designed to make people think it's a multimeter.
Yeah,
it's
incognito. Yeah.
Beep. Let you know. My other one didn't have any. But this will beep and let you know, hey, you need to check it out. So $17 on Amazon. My find of the week.
Wow.
Sweet.
Wow. Hey, I have a technical question to ask anybody in the panel. Any experts on beta
Well,
flight?
Mel says he knows everything, so
Mel's not going to know this one.
Now wait a minute. Now I will declare right here live on your show that between me and my brother, we know everything there is to know.
Okay.
So go ahead, test me. Throw a question at me.
All right.
keep your hands up. We don't want to see you using Google.
EBR is probably my best shot at getting this answered. So I built this last 7-inch build of mine.
I'm just kidding, Mel.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
I'm sorry.
So I was trying to turn this 2-hour live stream into at least one useful tidbit for me that I've been trying
to get to the question already.
Okay. I'm using the Mamba F4 flight controller in this drone, and I wanted to hook up an external buzzer, lost quad finder, which has got 3 leads, and I've hooked 4 of these things up already on other drones, and they all work perfectly. And the way it says to hook them up is they've got 3 wires. They've got a red and black, which is +5 volts in ground. And then they've got a trigger wire, yellow or green or whatever colored wire. It's supposed to go to the buzzer minus tab on the flight controller. Now, there's 2 different kinds of flight controllers. There are those that have a buzzer plus and buzzer minus, and then there are those that only have a tab that says buzzer, and you hook the negative of the buzzer to that, and if you have a 2-lead buzzer, and the positive to the voltage, to 5 volts. So this board has buzz minus, buzz plus, and ground. So it says to hook it to the buzz. It says hook it up to hook the red wire, the 5 volt, to the buzzer plus. Hook the yellow wire, which is the trigger wire, to the buzzer minus, which is supposedly where the switch is, and then hook the ground to a ground terminal. So I did.
He wrote the answer down already.
What's that?
He wrote the answer down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
red
right.
to buzzer,
red to buzz plus, green to buzz minus. Okay. So I did. I hooked it up that way.
Okay.
And it doesn't work. I mean, it gets voltage. It gets voltage.
I have the same buzzer, Mitch.
Well, listen,
I have it on this quad, which is on the stack.
I have them on many other quads, but on this particular flight controller.
Okay, the buzzer I got said not to put the positive on the buzzer positive. You find another 5 volts somewhere else. Just the green to the negative is the trigger.
All right, I tried that and it didn't work either, but maybe I missed something. I've got the beta flight set up right. It won't beep. It won't beep with the switch or anything, but it does get the 5 volts. It lights up, and when you unplug the battery, it starts to beep like it's supposed to.
That's what mine does.
Yeah.
I cannot trigger this with the switch.
Well, I want to trigger it with the switch.
I know, I do too.
Yeah.
But when the quad lands, within 30 seconds, it's going off.
Well, the one that I have doesn't do it that way. The one that I have doesn't go off by itself unless it loses power. This will go off in 30 seconds after it hits the ground. Yeah, but I want to be able to. I want to click the switch.
I do too, and I don't know why it didn't work that way. I don't know.
And I can't. And I've looked through beta flight, and I found settings that say inverse beeper equals on and off. I found all kinds of things. I cannot figure. I took the beeper off of this drone, took it over to my Marmot, unplugged the beeper on the Marmot, plug this one in, it works perfectly like it's supposed to. So it's not the beeper. I have it wired up, but this is the first time I've ever used that Diatone Mamba F4, which is a very popular stack. Everybody uses them. So I don't know.
Was that in a DC or in a DG buzzer?
No, it's a ViFly.
Oh, okay. Because they have some of the Wi-Fi's that you don't even wire up; you just charge them.
No, this is one that this is the ViFly version 2. At any rate, I've got them in other quads; they work fine. I've taken this one, put it in the other quad; it works fine. I take the one from the quad that works fine, put it in this drone; it won't. Something about the way it's wired, or a problem with the flight controller, or a setting in beta. I have the RX set turned on. I have all the beeper settings. When I click the switch on to make it beep, the D-shot beeper works. The motors beep, but this external quad, I cannot get it. So I didn't know if anybody had a simple.
Yeah, I have the same issue with mine, and it's the same stack.
Yeah, I may just have a bad stack. What I'm thinking about trying to do is upgrade the firmware on it and just start from scratch. It's got the 355 on it now, and I'm thinking about putting the new 406 on it because it's a new quad. I doesn't matter. I don't have to really worry about it. I haven't PID tuned it or anything yet.
You mess with the PIDs?
What's that?
You mess around with your PIDs?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, what fun is it if you can't take a perfectly great flying quad and screw it up?
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
I heard people messing with the rates, but not necessarily the PIDs.
Well, I'm learning. I'm learning a little bit about how to fool with the PIDs, but no, normally I don't fool with them too much.
Okay.
A lot of people, when they say mess with the PIDs, you're just generalizing about all the settings, rates, PIDs,
Gotcha.
filters, because you also have filters in there you can screw up too. You can play around until the motors just, melt if you're not careful.
I like flying. All that stuff's too technical for me at this point.
Well, and I'm not certainly not a good enough pilot to be able to take a quad up like some of these geniuses do and definitively say you need to boost the D gain by 2.
Right.
Huh?
Well, it can be just the props. You could, change props and get what you want out of it.
But these guys that are big time flyers, they can tell. They can tell.
I guess
just by how
I had one guy tell me I was having jello issues, and I've changed 3 or 4 different sets of props, checked all the motors that were tight, and he said, raise your D gain up a little bit. And he goes, you can raise your D gain as long as it's not past your P gain.
Yeah.
And I raised it up a little bit, took care of the jello.
Wow.
But if you have a bad bearing in a motor, that's probably not going to fix it.
And some of these things will change the timing so bad that your motors will get hot as hell. So that's another thing you got to look for is hot motors. And then I think you want to reduce your D gain if your motors are getting too hot. But
that's possible.
I haven't experienced hot motors yet. But then again, I don't fly that hard.
In a row yesterday, and my motors were not hot at all.
Do you feel the motors to see if they're hot, or you just assume they're hot?
I did.
Yeah.
No, I did.
I do.
Not after the first half, but the second I did.
At my level of flying right now, I'm certainly satisfied with the stock tunes. But when you build a quad, you have to start with the stock Betaflight tune. Whereas when you buy an Emax quad or this Nozzle or whatever, supposedly they have tweaked it for that particular quad. And so on the ones that I built, I can't tell you at this point with my flying whether they need tuning or not.
I couldn't tell you either.
My idea is if it goes up and I can fly it around and I get it back, I'm happy. That's a great flight. Yeah. How's that thing fly? Oh, it flies great. Goes up, it comes down.
No problem.
It's like this is the only hobby where they say if you're not crashing, you're not flying. But that doesn't make sense to me.
No, I don't either.
Like saying, well, you're not a good driver unless you crash.
There's 2 schools of thought on that. Joshua Bardwell just released a video today about a custom build that he just did, and he went up to Atlanta to fly with one of his Rotor Riot buddies, and the idea was to see how strong the frame is. They didn't care if they keep flying it into concrete, so they're trying to do these power loops, through stairwells and things where they keep crashing into concrete. And, one of the things he said was, one of the points he tried to make was that you'll be a better if you don't care about crashing. And your goal is to just try to push the envelope and get better. You will end up a better pilot. You might break a lot of quads doing it.
Yeah, what cost? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the simulator's for.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned. I get on a simulator and I try all this weird. That's where I go to practice the maneuvers, the power loops, the split S's, the diving through, through holes from a loop. And you crash all over the place and who cares? But it's amazing how when you get over the jitters of knowing none of us likes to crash or lose a quad.
No.
So there's always a certain pucker factor when you got a real quad in the air, as opposed to, I always liken that to financial trading. These people say, oh, I played a phony account. You know, I started with $100 and I it's worth 10 million today. And I traded, you know, on paper trading.
Right.
And you say to them, okay, bucko, try that with real money and see if see how well that works out for you. Because when you got your money, your skin in the game, the rules change completely.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Oh,
I say that the person who came out with that saying is somebody who sold quads.
Yeah.
For sure. Had to be. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm happy with flying, doing my rolls and flips every now and then, going through a gap here and there. But to do these power loops through like little circles, I'll leave that for somebody else. I'll live vicariously.
I'm almost ashamed to admit this, Carlos, because I don't want people to think that I am either a liar or I'm too cautious. But I mean, it sounds strange. I have not broken a prop yet.
Okay, I just started breaking them recently.
I have not broken a prop, let
That's
alone
fine.
broken a drone.
So that means you land really well too, because
I do, but I'm very careful when I fly, and I told you that's a throwback to the RC days where you spent 6 months building an airplane or a year building an airplane, and when you went to fly that airplane, you had a tremendous attachment and investment to that thing, and it caused you to take no chances, and I think that's not good when it comes to flying quads. I think I need to have more abandon because I don't have that kind of investment in either time and money in these things. You got to, worse, a couple $100 and maybe a day to build it, but I have that habit of
playing it safe,
hobby of prizing these aircraft to the point where I don't want to take chances with them.
I totally relate.
When I first started flying racing drones.
Let me stop you for a second, Dan.
Okay.
Let me stop you 1 second and bring in Art. Oh no, he's got 6 of those Ken things.
4.
Holy mackerel. How many you got there?
I got 4.
4.
4 of them. Well, this guy on the end, he's wounded.
I think that if you get 5 of them or more, we're going to think you're really strange, Art. So anyway, I interrupted Dan to let you come in. I saw you sitting there lonely in the green room. Let me
playing. You know what they say about men that play with dolls.
Taught the Kelly Green, not me.
I got the real doll here, man.
There you go. That's a good one. Yep.
That's the Donald Trump lawn gnome.
Yep.
I want one of those.
My daughter-in-law bought it for me.
That's cool.
She thought I'd enjoy it. It's for your garden, and it says on the tag, "Make your garden great again."
Awesome.
There's
Dan, what were you saying when I rudely interrupted?
Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, you're fine. No, I understand where this caution to really push it right away comes from, because when I first started, I bought my first racing drone. I probably had it 3 months before I even flew it. Then I flew it in stabilized mode for months before I hit acro. And then when I hit the switch for acro, I flew it for quite a while before I even did any rolls or flips. So I got the nickname Flying Miss Daisy. Because I mean, so that's why my progression's been slow, because I've just been like taking my time.
You having a good time?
I am.
There you go. I mean, if you enjoy it and pushing yourself would make it more tense and stressful and less enjoyable, why?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
This is what we're supposed to do to relax.
Right.
It's not like we got a drone race coming up next week that we have to practice for or something. So that's my philosophy exactly.
There's calculated risks. Some risks are worth it and some aren't. And I'm not willing to take too many.
Yep.
I can do the rolls. I can do the flips. I don't mind going through trees and stuff like that. But some things I'm just not going to do.
Before I did my first real split S, I spent like 3 nights on the simulator practicing it.
I
When I
remember.
went out to the field to do it,
Chickened out.
wasn't a problem.
No,
I
I
was-
remember that. I
I've been
remember
flying my
watching
tiny
your
boat.
video about your first Split S. And, having flown RC for all these years, a Split S is nothing. I mean,
You're right.
the first
It
acro,
wasn't me. I was terrified.
the first time I took my drone up and did an acro flight, I was doing power loops and Split S's already, because that to me, that's no big deal. So I remember watching your video, because you started this way before me. And I remember watching your video saying my first Split S, and I went, what?
Yeah.
Now I understand. I didn't realize how you
Oh,
were,
yeah.
I just started doing them a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I've been flying since mid-April.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I started with the Tiny Hawk and then the ET, but to do it with the 5, even flying a 5-inch and a 6-inch quad compared to the 3-inch or my ETs, it's a little intimidating.
Oh, but they're
power
so
and speed.
smooth. They're so smooth and stable compared to the
But the
ones.
power and speed is like ridiculous.
Yeah, but
Right.
Wow.
look, if you close your eyes, it won't matter.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah,
when you're wearing your
right.
goggles and you hear the motors coming over your head, it's just a little intimidating.
just taking off, it's like, wow, listen to that. Man, I mean, I don't know. These things go fast.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
And then
do.
I mean, the Split S, at first I wasn't even sure how to move the sticks. Then all of a sudden it just clicked. And the funny thing is, for me to do a good Split S, I roll left, then right, if that makes sense. I have to roll left and then go into it, then roll right and go into it. Strange, but that's how it works.
To do a Split S, you only do half a roll.
But
and
I'm saying that I had to roll left
Half a roll.
and then come around, then rolling right and then come
Really?
around. Yeah, it just works easier for me rolling left and then coming
Well, a
around.
lot of guys that fly RC airplanes, me included, have a favored roll direction.
Okay.
Mine is to the right.
That's
Well,
what I'm
roll, I don't
favoring.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I roll
Yeah.
to the right, and I also do it to the left, but I favor right. But for the Split S, don't ask me why.
And let me tell you why that was for me. And a lot of RC pilots favor the right roll. That's because when the stick is to the right, when your roll stick is to the right, and you have to finesse the elevator, as in a turn,
Right.
it's closer to you. You don't have to reach your fingers as far across as you do when the stick is to the left. You picture what I'm saying? You get
I
the
guess, yeah.
you get the two sticks here. You roll this one to the right, and then you up and down. Whereas if you push it in, you're pushing it further away from the outside of the transmitter. And
Actually, good
I
point.
used to like to do a lot of 4-point rolls, 8-point rolls, things like that. And on a 4-point roll, what you have to do is you roll the airplane 90 degrees, and then you have to, at the same time, you have to bring in left rudder to tilt the nose up a little bit. And then as you roll onto your back, you have to slowly release the rudder and start pushing down elevator to keep it straight. And I always found that moving all those different combinations of sticks was much easier and more intuitive for me to do while I rolled to the right than to the left. Now, if you're really an accomplished aerobatic pilot, it shouldn't make any difference. But for me, I always seem to favor the right. And once you start favoring something, then it becomes a habit. So
Right.
Dan, do you
never
pinch or thumb?
doing this stuff to the left, you know?
I'm a thumber.
Does Dan pinch or thumb?
I thumb.
I thumb too. I can't. I don't know. Pinching just doesn't. I don't know.
I can't do that.
Really?
I'm totally thumbs.
I hold it like
Quick question for Art. Did you
Yeah.
recover your quad, your drone rather?
No, I haven't. I went to the police yesterday and made a report. Those people haven't returned my drones yet. So
You don't know any guys that ride motorcycles that look like tough that you can go over there with? Knock on the door.
I didn't hear about that, Art. What happened?
well,
Oh, you had a
one
whole
day-
video on it. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no, Geeksvana did a video on it.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Mhm.
Tell me the story.
Okay. Monday, I wanted to do a product review on the Parrot Swing. And so I wanted to learn how to fly it first before I got out the cameras and film it. So you got the drone out there, and I'm looking at the book and I'm learning how to fly it, and I got it up, and it starts getting away from me. Next thing I know, it's over the fence, and I see it crash on the roof behind my apartment. And I thought, oh, gee. So what I was thinking about doing was getting my Phantom 3 and put a grappling hook on it. Then I'd go over and kind of, because it's an X-wing and it's got some struts on it that I could grab it, pick it up. And someone in Facebook said, well, the proper wash would probably blow it off the roof. And I thought, hey, that sounds like a good idea. So I got my P3 out there, flying out there. I got the camera pointing straight down. I got video from the tablet, and I'm watching it. I'm like slowly going down, because there's a wall right there, and then there's the lower roof, and I'm like gingerly trying to be really careful. And then all of a sudden I get a message saying radio interference. And right about then, that's when the thing kind of drifted into the side of the building.
Uh-oh.
It just tumbled. You could see the picture go boom, and it rolled off the roof and onto the ground. And after that, I saw some people coming out of the apartment there, and they could see me, and I'm waving at them and say, yeah, I'll come over and get it. And this is, maybe half a football field away from them. So I got all my gear put away, hopped in the car, went over there, and knocked on the door. Nobody answered. I hear a dog barking, and that's it. So I went back the next day, left a note saying, hey, sorry about the commotion. I'm Art Carlson. Here's my phone number. I'm a licensed drone operator. Could you please give me back my drones? Never heard from them. So yesterday, I went to the police department, filed a report, and talked to an officer there. And I came back home, got a phone call, and the officer said he went over there and he got no answer and left his card there. So that's where we are.
Oh, so you still haven't gotten it back. Holy mackerel.
That's right.
So you got 2 drones gone over there.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Sounds like it may not end well.
My first thought, Art, would be you should have stuck with your first plan and put like a 10-foot fishing line on your thing with a treble hook on it or something, where you could snag the other drone. Right. That's what you really should have done.
Yep.
And nice and long, 10, 15, 20 foot, whatever.
Yeah.
That way you would keep your other drone well high for signal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And had you blown the other one off the roof, then what?
Oh, then I could have gone over there and just picked it up. Nobody would have known about it. They wouldn't have heard anything.
Well, why can't you go get it now then?
It's not there.
Oh,
so somebody actually snagged it up.
Yeah.
Is the other one's still on the roof?
No, that's gone too.
Oh.
The one that crashed first, that's the one that stayed on the roof. I went back over there, when was it? Oh, the second time I went back there to put my note on the door. And I looked up there and the drone was gone. Either it got windy that night and blew it off or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Bird made friends with it.
That's too bad.
Well, Jesus.
That sucks.
Yeah, let us know what happens.
We'll do. I've been
Curious to hear
talking
what
to
happens.
Ken Heron and Jeff Sills about it, and they got me in touch with Geek Savannah, and we made a short little video.
I just posted it, Art.
Wonderful.
So I have a question, FPV related.
You should go there with some muscle, Art.
How do you get used to determining how far from the ground you are? Like with my Tiny Hawk, and that's the only drone I have that's FPV with goggles, I can't judge when I'm coming in low. I can't judge how close to the ground I am.
It's tricky.
I invariably do, I'll say a touch and go, you know, I need to be able to. So how do you learn to judge
The
how
easiest
far off
way,
the ground you are?
Trial and error.
let me tell you the easiest thing that I found, and I learned this. Well, first of all, I think Dan Dronepool said he's got to go. So thanks for stopping by.
Oh,
Just wanted to
All
say
right,
thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good
good
evening.
talk with you. Have a good
You too,
evening.
Mel.
And see you next time.
Nice to see you, Dan.
Go Broncos.
Hey, thank you. They play Monday night.
Oh, they do? Nationally televised game?
Playing the Raiders.
Go
All right, I'll
Oakland.
watch it. I grew up in
Oh,
Colorado.
they ain't Oakland anymore now, are they?
No, they're still in Oakland.
All right, Dan. Thanks.
Are they back in Oakland?
Take care, buddy.
Denver Broncos.
All right, so let me finish my answer. When I'm out there at my club flying field, which is just big out wide open in the middle of nowhere, it's very hard to judge your altitude. Okay, but when you're flying where there's visual references like park benches, trees, things like that, that makes it all the difference in the world. Which is why flying the thing around inside the house is so easy. So I found that when I fly outside, I try to fly where at least somewhere alongside of me or there's a tree or a fence or something that gives me a visual cue as to the altitude. And that's how I've gotten around it.
But
And
I think he's talking
yeah.
about landing in particular. He's talking about, right?
No, I'm trying.
no?
I'm talking about like, because I have a 4-wheel drive Silverado,
Okay.
and there's plenty of room to fly under that truck with a Tiny Hawk. Plenty. Okay. There's plenty of room to fly under lots of things with the Tiny Hawk.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because it's only this tall. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, okay, it's that tall when you're in this angle with it.
Yeah.
You know? But even still. But my problem is I keep getting too close to the ground.
Yeah, practice.
Gotcha.
Nothing. It's just practice, Mel. There's no easy way around that. I
Trial
try
and
to
error.
fly under chairs. Under chairs, the same thing. You bounce off the ground. You keep bouncing off the ground
Well,
until you.
I flew it through a set of bleachers a couple times.
I saw
I
that.
saw
Yeah,
that one.
I thought that was
That-
an accident, though.
No, I was trying to do that, but the problem was I was having trouble getting low enough to come up behind the back of the bleachers, and then actually flying through them. That really was an accident because all I did was wait till about the right time I thought was a good time, and then I put some throttle to it, and it'd come up out the other side. You know.
Also,
It's
You know what? It's just a matter of like try to fly low as much as possible.
Yeah.
You just got to get used to it. At least that's what I do. I don't know.
Mel,
Okay.
if you actually see the blades of grass, that means you're
Yes.
too low.
You can see them go by. That's a fact.
Might want to go a tad bit higher than that.
Ah.
No, but that's true. You can actually. I don't know. I've gone low enough where you see the blades of grass going by.
Okay.
Indeed.
Usually by then it's, oh, I can see the grass. Boom. Oh, I can see the dirt.
The only way to learn how to fly these things is to fly these things. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
too much.
interestingly enough, if you have to think about what you're doing, it hurts you. You have to. It has to. You know how it is at radio. If you're an RC pilot and have to think, well, let's see, it's coming at me, so my directions are reversed. You're dead. You can't have
that part second nature. I don't have a problem with that.
But this will become second nature too after you
It's just
do it.
this elevation thing that's kicking my butt. Hello, Bill Thomas.
Hey, Dr. Drone is here too. How you
Drone.
doing? Bill Thomas, coast to coast. How you doing, buddy?
When you cut the grass, you're low. Yep. DVR.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Mitch,
Yeah.
I didn't get to follow through here because you asked a different kind of question. Earlier, I went on a limb and made a statement that between me and my brother, we know everything there is to know.
Yeah.
So now what I want you to do is ask a question that you're certain that there's no way I'd have the answer to.
Well, you know, this is a trick. This is a magician's trick.
Well, sure it is, because no matter what the question is, I'm going to say, well,
my brother knows that.
That's the thing my brother knows. That's
There you go.
Either that or you got the smartest brother in the world. Oh, that's funny.
I like when Mitch says, "I know that I don't know." That's probably I'm with you there.
That's where I'm at. I know that I don't know. Yep.
Yeah, it's true. You know, if you're at all realistic, you don't know what you don't know.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I know that I don't know, but I don't know how much I don't know because I don't know what I don't know. So I don't know.
That's easy for you to say.
That's another one of those who's on first things, isn't it?
You know, a long time ago in my life, somebody told me this saying, and I don't remember who it was, but I've never forgotten it. And it's simple, but it's very poignant, and it goes like this: it's what you learn after you think you know it all that does you the most good.
Yep.
So whenever I see one of these young kids that's just 17 years old and knows everything, I think about that. I say to myself, once you get to the point where you really think you know it all, that's when after that is when you start learning the stuff that's important, that matters. And these days,
my famous one was, "Don't worry, Ma. Don't worry about it."
Don't worry about it. No problem.
Don't worry.
Forget about it.
Yeah, the scariest thing, the scariest 2 words in the world. Trust me.
That one too.
Yeah. Trust me. No problem.
Well, depends on where you live. The scariest thing down here in the South is, "Hey, y'all, watch this."
Oh,
Mel, being from Philadelphia, it took me a long time to grasp the y'all concept. I never realized that y'all was singular.
No.
It is.
No,
because, wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Y'all is singular and all y'all is plural.
Not really, but I understand what you're saying.
All y'all. I mean,
all
I've had
y'all is
people
just
say,
the more proper y'all.
Y'all coming, Mitch? Yeah, I'm coming. I look around for everybody else. They go, y'all coming? And then when they say all y'all, then I know they're talking to other people too.
Oh, well, here's a more simple definition. And it's the difference between a northern girl and a southern girl.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Northern girl says you can do it. Southern girl says y'all can do it.
Oh, here's another word you'll have to get used to. Fixin'.
That's right.
Fixin'.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go get me another cup of coffee, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't even know what grits were until I went into the Army.
I didn't know it until I went to Florida. And they put butter in it and everything.
And in Florida, it's not grits, it's cream of wheat.
No, that's not the same.
They still call them grits.
Is cream of wheat? Wait, is cream of wheat considered grits? I don't think so.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, I understand what you're saying. They call grits cream of wheat in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the Waffle House, it was grits.
Yeah. Well, you want grits? Go to Alabama, Mississippi, and go to a backwoods restaurant and order grits. You'll get grits.
That's where I
ran. Go to the South in general. I tell my wife that. I don't know if there's too many Puerto Ricans in the South.
No. There's nothing wrong with the South. That's where I was exposed to grits the first time. I never knew what they were, and I was a teenager, early, 13, 14
I go into
years
Mel's
old.
neighborhood, he can kill me and bury me in the 5 acres that he has somewhere. Nobody would know the difference.
No, they don't bury you in the South.
No, they just leave you dead.
No, yeah, they just take you to the hog farm. Hogs eat everything.
Yeah, they do. So anyway, what I was trying to say here, what I was saying was we were taking a road car trip to Florida from Philadelphia. And the first time I was in my early teens, and that's when I got introduced to grits. We came down down the East Coast and into South Carolina and all, and went into a diner, and there they were. I wouldn't touch them. I still to this day haven't touched them.
Oh, come on!
No, really.
Grits isn't that bad. It wasn't.
I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure it isn't. But
are you kosher by any chance?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I don't.
You indulge in ham and bacon and all that stuff?
Oh, you kidding? Bacon is one of the basic 4 food groups.
That's right. That's right.
Bacon, pizza, beer, and what else?
Vodka.
Wild women.
Yeah.
And did you know that fried fish skin is the other bacon?
Really?
Yeah, when you get a salmon, you cook it and get that.
Oh, I like the taste of it. Nothing like bacon other than bacon.
That's the best.
Nah.
I like bacon.
Yeah.
Just don't eat too much of it.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't know how bad can it be.
The pork, the grease, the salt.
No, the grease doesn't hurt you. The fat, that's all.
Well, that's what I mean. The fat.
That's all fake news. This bullshit telling you about.
Probably
your
true.
body needs some of that fat to survive.
Go into any backwoods farm country anywhere and go into the diner in the morning where all these guys go for breakfast every morning and they're, how old are you, sir? I'm 98. I'm 89. I'm 103.
Yeah.
What do you eat? I eat a half a pound of bacon and 4 eggs every morning and have been for my whole life,
And a shot of whiskey.
Yeah, that's real food for human beings. This
It's also even in
that these snowflakes push on us.
Well, just think about
Japanese and all those people. They eat everything out of the ocean that's supposedly not good for you, shellfish. They live forever.
That's already been debunked. It's been it's sugar that's killing everybody.
The cavemen, they ate whatever kind of meat they could get their hands on.
That's how we evolved.
That's exactly
Our
right.
Physiology is designed to handle.
That's exactly
those
right.
foods. And I'll tell you what, I've been eating the Atkins style diet, the low carb, high fat, high protein diet.
Atkins keto, whatever you want to call it. It's all very similar.
Listen, I started it 50 years ago. I'm 72 years old, Mel. I'll match my health up against anybody half my age. And
no doubt.
Everything that they tell me is going to kill me. Everything, including the cigars. Everything they tell me is going to kill me. I do. And all the people, I tell this joke. I don't know if I've told it to you before, but it's not a joke. It's a true story about my grandfather. Grandfather lived to be 102 years old, smoked 5 cigars every day of his life. Okay. Drank Canadian Club highballs, ate what he wanted. And his name was Harry. The people would say to him over the course of his life, "Hey, Harry, you need to give up those cigars because they're going to kill you." And his answer was, and I'll never forget this because I knew it was coming because he would give the same answer. He'd say, it's funny you should say that. So 30 years ago, my doctor told me if I didn't quit smoking cigars, I wouldn't live another 10 years.
He's dead.
And the answer, the person would always say, well, what does your doctor think now? And my grandfather goes, hell if I know, he died 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I told you this joke in the past. This kid's eating junk food, soda, chocolate, all kinds of garbage. And this old man walks up to him. He goes, maybe you should change your diet. You eat a lot of junk food. And the little young man tells the old man, he goes, my grandfather lived to 101 years old. He goes, eating that stuff? He goes, no, minding his own business.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like a New York
that's a city joke right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
No, but what I was going to say is I think what kills a lot of people is also stress more than anything.
Yeah, but on the other hand, stress is a certain amount of stress is necessary. It's part of.
Well, no, that's healthy stress, but some people, stress keeps you alive.
Well, you got to stay vigilant.
So does fear.
Yeah, you got to stay vigilant.
Thins your blood.
But no, the conventional wisdom, there's a term called conventional wisdom. You've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time something becomes conventional wisdom, it usually means it's 180 degrees backwards, whatever it happens to be.
Eggs were bad for you.
Oh, eggs could kill you. And
they used to be, right?
Cholesterol. Then they finally, after all those years, come out and said, never mind.
Yeah.
Dietary cholesterol doesn't end up in your bloodstream. So, and I figured that out 30 years ago. And the way I figured it out was one day I'm in a grocery store. It's about 30 years ago. I'm wandering around. I see this booth with a nurse standing behind there. Says free cholesterol test. This is when that crap was first starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up there and I said, okay, I'll tell you what, are you going to be here tomorrow? She says, yeah, okay, I'll fast. Because, you used to having to, from getting blood tests back then, you had to fast. So I said, okay, I'll fast, and I'll come in here tomorrow and let you take my cholesterol test. And she said, oh, you don't need to fast for a cholesterol test. I said, wait a minute. And I gave it a timeout. I said, timeout. Let me make sure I understand what you're telling me. Because when she told me I didn't have to fast for a cholesterol test, I had an epiphany right then and there. Okay. And I said, let me get this straight. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to go next door. I'm going to get a half a dozen eggs and a pound of shrimp, and I'm going to eat it. And then I'm going to come back here and get my cholesterol test. And you're telling me that whether I ate all that shrimp and eggs or not would not make any difference in the level of my cholesterol. She says, oh, yeah, that's correct. I said, then why can't I eat that stuff? If I can eat that stuff and it doesn't make my cholesterol go up, why can't I eat it? And she got this deer in the headlights look.
You think?
Like, I never thought of that. I said, duh. I said, if it doesn't get into your blood, I said, now sugar is different.
Yep.
If I go eat 2 candy bars and come back here and get a glucose test, it's going to spike through the roof. So you're telling me that no matter how much cholesterol I eat, it's not going to affect my blood cholesterol. And you're telling me I can't eat that shit? Why?
But
and
is that a fact that it doesn't
nobody to this day has ever given me an answer on that question.
So that is a fact that food the day before will not affect your cholesterol.
Nope.
And they finally, after ruining the egg business, the shellfish business, the meat business, that after
that's all it was.
Then they come back and they go, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That they were just trying to control industry.
30
some years ago.
Do you know what your cholesterol is? Any of you guys?
I know what it is. It's high, and I don't care.
Yeah.
No, it's high because let me tell you something. It's high.
Well, what do you call high?
Well, my total cholesterol is about 240, but my HDL is 80 something. So my ratio is fabulous. And you know something? So was my father's, and so was my grandfather's. And my cholesterol is exactly what my body needs it to be.
Yep.
And if I start screwing with it, then I'm doing things contrary to what my own physiology and program developed over millions of years of evolution of living things is telling it needs to be healthy.
Yep.
And that's a problem, is we are screwing with things we don't understand.
That's right. 30 some years ago, my wife and I got our cholesterol tested. Mine was fine. Hers was high. I have 4 eggs and bacon for breakfast every day. And she was like, how the hell does that work?
It's genetic.
Yeah.
It's genetic. And if you have cholesterol, say 200, and you did nothing but eat landscaping, and oats, and like a horse, the best you could do is lower it 10%, maybe, but that's not doing you any good. It's where it needs to be in most cases, unless you have a genetic disorder.
Right.
And the only reason they developed statins in the first place was to treat people who have already had surgery, bypass surgery. They never invented statins to try to be a preventative.
As a prophylactic, right? Yeah.
And these statins, I've known so many people that have ruined their health taking statins, because statins
Anything like that.
can
Yeah.
destroy muscle, and they can destroy your heart and give you pains and muscle pains like you can't believe. And they create this story. The doctors and the drug companies create these stories to scare people, just like they're trying to scare you with this climate change nonsense.
About bucks.
Because it gets people to be afraid, so they follow you and they vote for you. And they send you their money. And
the Earth has been going through natural cycles for millions of years. But
it's
anyway.
fake news. Fake news.
I think mine was just over like 2 and change. But this is the first time I've been to a doctor in 11 years, because I don't trust doctors. And everything came out okay. He says you're perfect. Don't worry about it.
And if you start, and I really dug into it, guys. And I'm not, I got to give you a disclaimer here that don't take my medical advice. Because, I don't want somebody to say, hey, I listened to you and I died. So
it'd be too late.
I died.
Wait a minute here.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing hard.
Okay. Now, that being said, now I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry.
Hush puppies.
You were talking about the doctors and
Grits and hush puppies.
Yeah, they're a bunch of quacks.
You know where hush puppies come from?
I'm afraid to ask now.
Seriously. And this is the truth.
Are they potatoes? No.
No, they're dough balls.
Yeah.
Like bread.
And they've been fried. Yeah.
And they're deep fried. And somebody had these, and their dog was by the table begging. And so they'd toss them to the dog and say, hush up, puppy, hush. And pretty soon we had hush puppies.
Okay, so I remember
throw to the dog.
I remember what I was going to say now.
Mel, you know why they call them hush puppies?
You just said.
I just said.
Listen. Because it's a lot nicer than saying, shut the fuck up, dog.
All right. So here's what I was going to say. Here's what I was going to say about that. You guys, I can't keep a straight thought here. Now I forgot again. So
blonde with blue eyes.
Listen, guys, when I come in and say I got it, you got to shut up and let me come out. It's going away again,
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say goodbye to each of you and thank you for sending me an email, inviting me on.
Always, love having
I'm going to go grab me another coffee and a smoke before Mr. H shows up.
Yeah, we're sneaking up on our time. So hey, thanks for coming in.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite. It's been a good time. See you guys later. Everybody in chat.
All right, buddy.
See ya.
Take it easy.
I don't think I've ever watched Heron.
You should. You should.
Yeah, go see him.
You got to learn what pigeon jerky is, and you got to know all the shtick that he does.
I've seen like 5 or 10 minutes, and it's basically like a comedy show.
He's very entertaining, but he talks a lot about drones. Not a lot of FPV stuff, although he's swinging that way now a little more.
Right. I think because of the DJI new stuff.
Okay, what I was going to tell you about cholesterol.
Okay, go ahead.
It was a simple point I wanted to make. To this day,
we're listening.
There has not been one real study that has shown any corollary between your cholesterol levels and heart disease. Not a single study. They also did a study, an epidemiological study of hospital records from London, from a hospital in England, where they studied the actual hospital records of 20,000 patients or so over the past 10 or 20 years, and created a database that showed the types of diseases and the blood chemistry. And when they got all done crunching the numbers, what the numbers said was that the people, and this is, look it up. It's out there. It's on Google. It's a real study. The medical community doesn't want you to know about it. That's for sure. But they found that there was a direct relationship between cholesterol level and risk of death by heart disease. And it was exactly the opposite of what everybody says it is. The people with the higher cholesterol had a lower incidence of death by heart disease. The people with the lowest cholesterols had the highest incidence of death by heart disease. And this wasn't a study. This was just a rehash of actual data.
Yeah.
So you gotta, with anything you hear, I don't care if it's medicine, I don't care if it's politics, I don't, whatever it is, there's an agenda behind everything.
Money.
Some agenda.
The
Money, power, greed, whatever it is. There's an agenda behind every bit of information that's out there. And my advice is just don't believe anything you hear about anything, including what I might say. Because that's the problem.
It's true, because I remember there was either high blood pressure or the cholesterol was at 200. Now all of a sudden it's 180, and now they're selling more things to lower your cholesterol, lower your blood pressure.
And the people that are taking these things are having more health problems than dummies.
Because they affect your liver and stuff like that. There's all the side effects.
Yeah. And you can't eat grapefruit.
And my doctors.
Yeah, if you're on statins, you can't eat grapefruit.
Really? My doctor says you should be taking statins. I said, you know what? I said, no, thank you. Well, it's my obligation to tell you. I said, yeah, okay. Yeah. Call Pfizer and tell them you lived up to your obligation.
Due diligence.
Sell me this poison crap
that's what that is. Yeah. You know, I worked in a drugstore for 2 years, and I used to every now and then ask the pharmacist, what does this do? What does this do? And there was this one, I think the name was Artane. I said, what is this for? He goes, oh, this is for what do you call it? What do they call that?
I don't know.
As a result of taking this drug, you have to take this.
Oh, yeah. I got to take this drug
because of the side effect of this drug. Now you got to start taking this one. Yeah. I'm like, really? You got to be kidding me. Grumpy Lloyd has joined us a little bit ago.
If you want to
how you doing, buddy?
If you guys want to have fun with your doctor, next time you go see your doctor, go in with a notepad and write down all these different drugs that you see advertised
on TV,
and say, Doc, is this one right for me? Is this one right for me?
Funny.
Should I be taking this one? And just have fun with it.
Well, you're just doing what the TV commercial told you to. Ask your doctor about so and so.
Yeah. There you go.
That drives me nuts. 15, 20 seconds of all the benefits, and then like a minute and a half of all the side effects and what it could kill you. And you might want to kill yourself. You might want to do this.
For harm during the production of this soundboard, subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional itch, snorter, too, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing heart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know what that reminds me of? I don't like commercials that at the end they do these disclaimers at that speed.
Yeah, they do. They do.
That drives me nuts.
And my favorite, some of these things, and my favorite one was the one for toenail fungus. Okay, so they got this medicine. It's not an ointment. You got to take it. Lamisil. It's called Lamisil. You got to take Lamisil, and for your toenail fungus, and the side effects include death.
Jeez.
No, that's not a good side.
Anal leaking.
Well,
from the toenail fungus.
Just to get your toenail fungus taken
I'm going to say, you know what? I could probably live with the toenail fungus. You know?
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta risk my life.
Vinegar, that'll kill it.
Oh, man.
Get yourself some apple vinegar and soak your feet in it.
Yeah.
Apple cider vinegar for everything, right?
There we go. That's what we'll do next Thursday. We'll do old guy home remedies. Oh, man. Okay. Well, hey, guys, somehow 2 hours went by. Don't ask me how that happened, but I always enjoy it. And it's 5 to 8. We're going to start to wrap it up right now. And
don't forget 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Art, you
know, Art, one of these days I'm going to have to
set a timer now on your phone.
On my watch. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, our guest this week is Casper Stockham. He's a candidate for Congress here in Colorado. He was a candidate for Congressional District 1, which was Denver. Now he's moved into Aurora. He's in House District Congressional District 4, and he will be challenging Jason Crow, who defeated the incumbent Mike Kaufman in the last election. So, and we just found out yesterday that Casper is going to be in a primary. Steve House is his primary opponent.
None of those people mean anything to me here in Florida, but as long as they have a big R after the name, good luck to them.
Well, one suggestion to Art is go to a biker bar, buy the whole bar a round of drinks, and then bring them over to your next door neighbor and get that drone back.
Yeah, all right, good luck with that. Let me know.
Will do.
All right, let me say goodbye to everybody that's still hanging around in the chat. Rich Halber, Kiwi, Drone Shots. Drone Shots. I didn't even see you in there. How you doing? Lloyd, you too. Thanks for coming by. And who else?
Drone Life RC.
Kiwi, Drone Life RC. How are you? Big smiley face there. And that's about it. So,
yes, sir.
I guess I don't usually read the chat over in Ken Hearns because it goes by so fast, but
yeah,
I'm going to go outside like I do and light up a cigar on the back porch and sit and watch the Ken Hearns show. So with that, I'm going to
have a good night, Mitch. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay. Thanks, Carlos. See you next time. I'm going to bring up some music. There we go. And get ready to take the rest of the day off. Relax, have a cigar. And unwind. I still haven't completely unwound from the stress of this hurricane. I do want to send out all of my hopes and best wishes for those people north of us here in the Carolinas who are really going to get slammed with this thing. I hope that it goes as easy on you guys as it did on us, and don't take any chances and stay safe if you're up that way. And in a day or two, it'll all be over. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. And if you're watching this on a replay, I doubt you've hung in here this long, but if you have, thanks for the watch time. I appreciate it, and I'm going to let you all say goodnight to Spank. Here he is. I got to teach him how to say that's all, folks. We'll see you next time.